You find oil in a turbo hose, the car feels slower, and somebody tells you the turbo is finished. That can turn into a 4-figure repair fast. But oil near the turbo does not automatically mean the turbo itself has failed. A blocked crankcase breather, a restricted oil return line, a clogged air filter, or pressure elsewhere in the system can push oil through a turbo that is still usable. Replace the turbo without fixing the cause, and the new one may start leaking too. In this video, you will learn which symptoms matter, 5 checks to make before buying parts, and the warning signs that mean you should stop driving. Before calling the turbo bad, work out where the oil is showing up. Oil on the outside of the turbo is usually an external leak. It may come from the oil feed fitting, the drain gasket, a nearby valve cover, or another part above the turbo. Oil travels, so the wettest part is not always the source. Oil inside an intake hose is a different clue. A light film may come through the crankcase ventilation system, so it is not enough by itself to condemn the turbo. Oil pooling in a hose or intercooler, especially with falling oil level and blue smoke, deserves much more attention. Oil on the exhaust side can burn and create blue-gray smoke. It may come from the turbo, but worn piston rings, valve guides, or excessive crankcase pressure can look similar. Do not diagnose the car from one oily connection. Look for a pattern, starting with the smoke. Symptom 1 is blue-gray smoke. Blue-gray smoke usually means the engine is burning oil. With a turbo problem, it may appear under acceleration after idling, or as the turbo starts building boost. Black smoke is different. It points more toward excess fuel, insufficient air, a boost leak, or an intake or exhaust restriction. It can appear during a turbo-related problem, but it does not prove the turbo is leaking oil. Pay attention to timing. A short puff at startup tells a different story from a thick cloud every time you accelerate. Symptom 2 is oil loss. Check the dipstick on level ground with the engine off, following your owner's manual. If the level keeps dropping and there is no obvious leak under the car, the engine may be burning the oil. Do not wait for the red oil warning. On many cars, that light warns about oil pressure, not simply that the level is a little low. Symptom 3 is loss of power. The car may feel flat, take longer to build boost, or struggle during acceleration. An OBD2 scanner may show an underboost or overboost code. Those codes tell you the boost is outside the expected range. They do not prove an oil leak. A split hose, loose clamp, stuck actuator, clogged air filter, blocked exhaust, or control problem can cause similar symptoms. Symptom 4 is noise. A light whistle can come from an air leak. A siren-like whine that rises with engine speed is more concerning. Grinding, scraping, or metal contact is a stop now warning because the rotating parts may be touching the housing. Symptom 5 is oil collecting in the charge air system. Remove a hose only when the engine is cool and the vehicle procedure allows it. A light coating is one thing. Oil running out of the hose, heavy pooling in the intercooler, blue smoke, and rapid oil loss make a much stronger case that something is wrong. No single symptom proves the turbo is dead. Several symptoms appearing together are what matter. Before buying a turbo, make these 5 checks in order. Check 1. Look for an external leak. Let the engine cool. Use a flashlight and inspect the turbo area from above and below. Look at the oil feed line, the drain line, both connection points, and the parts directly above the turbo. Fresh oil looks wet and shiny. Old oil collects dust and turns into dark grime. Clean the area with the correct automotive cleaner. Drive a short distance, then inspect it again. The first place that becomes wet is often closer to the source. Do not tighten fittings blindly. Over-tightening can damage threads, crush a sealing washer, or crack a line. If the leak is external, the fix may be a gasket, washer, hose, or line. That is very different from replacing the turbo. If the outside stays dry and oil keeps appearing inside the system, check the return line. Check 2. Check the oil return line. Turbo oil has to leave as easily as it enters. After lubricating the bearings, the oil drains back toward the engine. If the return line is kinked, clogged with carbon, damaged, or installed at a bad angle, oil can back up inside the center housing. When the oil has nowhere to go, it can be pushed toward the compressor or turbine side. That can look like failed turbo seals. Inspect the line for sharp bends, crushed sections, sludge, and signs that somebody used too much liquid sealant. Small pieces of sealant can restrict the passage. If access requires removing hot side parts, lifting the vehicle, or working close to the exhaust, leave the job to a shop. A clear return line will not save a turbo with damaged bearings, but a blocked line can make a good replacement turbo leak again. The next check can create the same problem without touching the turbo at all. Check 3. Check the crankcase breather or PCV system. Every running engine creates some pressure below the pistons. The crankcase ventilation system gives those gases a controlled path out. If the breather, PCV valve, filter, or hose becomes blocked, pressure builds inside the engine. That pressure makes it harder for oil to drain away from the turbo. It can also push oil into the intake. This is one reason a new turbo may leak, even when it was installed correctly. Inspect the breather hoses for collapse, sludge, cracks, and incorrect routing. Some engines use a simple PCV valve. Others use an oil separator or a replaceable breather filter. Follow the service information for your exact engine. Do not diagnose crankcase pressure by watching the oil cap dance. Engine designs vary, and a little pulsing may be normal. A proper pressure test gives a much better answer. If the breather system is restricted, repair that before condemning the turbo. Check 4. Check the air path and boost hoses. The turbo cannot work properly if it cannot breathe. Start with the air filter. If it is heavily clogged or the intake duct is crushed, the compressor has to pull against a restriction. That pressure imbalance can contribute to oil leakage on the compressor side. Then inspect the hoses between the turbo, intercooler, and engine. Look for loose clamps, split rubber, oily spray around a joint, and hoses that have gone soft or collapsed. A boost leak can cause poor acceleration, underboost codes, black smoke on some engines, and a loud whistle. Those symptoms are often blamed on the turbo even when the rotating assembly is fine. Check the intercooler for damage and excessive oil. Do not pour collected oil back into the engine. If a large amount is present, clean the system and find the source before driving the vehicle hard again. If the intake side checks out, the restriction may be on the exhaust side. Check 5. Check the exhaust and the engine. A blocked catalytic converter or diesel particulate filter can raise exhaust back pressure. That can reduce boost, increase heat, and disturb the pressure balance around the turbo. You usually cannot confirm that by looking at the tailpipe. A shop may need live scan data, pressure testing, or temperature measurements. The engine itself also matters. Worn piston rings can increase blow-by and crankcase pressure. Worn valve guides can burn oil. Dirty or degraded engine oil can damage the turbo bearings. If the oil lines are clear, crankcase pressure is normal, the intake and exhaust paths are open, and the engine is healthy, the turbo moves much higher on the suspect list. A technician can inspect wheel damage, housing contact, bearing condition, actuator operation, and shaft movement against the manufacturer's specification. Be careful with the popular shaft play test. Some journal-bearing turbos have noticeable radial movement when the engine is off because there is no pressurized oil film supporting the shaft. The wheel should not touch the housing. Axial movement, damaged blades, tight rotation, or scraping needs professional inspection. Repair, rebuild, or replace. If the cause is a leaking line, failed gasket, clogged breather, dirty air filter, or boost hose, repair that first and reassess the turbo. If the turbo has bearing damage, wheel contact, a cracked housing, damaged blades, or heavy oil leakage after the outside systems test correctly, it may need rebuilding or replacement. A rebuild makes sense only when a qualified turbo specialist can inspect the parts, replace worn components, and balance the rotating assembly. A cheap seal kit will not fix a bent shaft, damaged wheel, worn housing, or contaminated oil system. When fitting a replacement turbo, clean the oil feed and drain paths. Make sure the breather works. Inspect the intake hoses and intercooler. Use the correct oil and a new filter. Prime the turbo according to the manufacturer procedure before starting the engine. Avoid liquid gasket on the turbo oil inlet or outlet unless the vehicle manufacturer specifically requires it. Excess sealant can enter the oil passage and starve the bearings. Skip the root cause and the replacement can fail for the same reason as the old one. Garrett's installation guidance specifically calls for clean oil and filters, correct gaskets, a functioning breather system, and clean intake hoses. It also warns against excess liquid sealant around turbo oil connections. When to stop driving. Stop the engine and arrange an inspection if you see thick blue smoke that does not clear, the oil level drops quickly, the oil pressure warning appears, or the turbo makes grinding or scraping sounds. On a diesel, an engine that starts revving on its own may be burning engine oil as fuel. Move away from traffic, do not stand in front of the vehicle, and call for professional help. Also stop if oil is dripping onto a hot exhaust surface because it can ignite. A small stain still needs diagnosis. Rapid oil loss, heavy smoke, uncontrolled engine speed, and metal noise need immediate attention. Oil around a turbo is a clue, not a diagnosis. Find where the oil is. Watch the smoke, track the oil level, scan the codes, and listen for changes. Then check the external lines, oil return, crankcase ventilation, air path, and exhaust system before paying for a turbo. You may find a cheap hose or blocked breather. You may confirm that the turbo is damaged. Either answer is better than replacing parts based on a guess. If this video saved you from replacing the wrong part, subscribe for more car care guides made for regular drivers. Next, watch the video on the oil change mistakes that quietly shorten turbo life.